Can someone teach me how to do values? So, this is a pretty general question. As in, teach me how to do values, would you mean how to make a leveling system, how to make a gold, how to kind of count how much gold you have, that kind of concept, or to keep track of points, like say you win a game, you get plus 5 points, that concept. If you want to do any of that, what you're going to want to know is you're going to want to know the different types of values there are. So if you go into your studio mode, you open your advanced objects, there you have an option of 11 different types of values. So we have Boolean values, brick colors, C-frames, color 3, all these different types of values. Now the thing is, if you're trying to do something with the values, you're first off going to want to know what they are and what they're used for and what they can do. First off, I'm going to explain an integer value. This is one of the most basic ones, an integer value. An integer is basically any whole number from negative infinity to positive infinity. So long as it's a whole number, it's an integer. So say you have an integer of 0, 17, or negative 329. Any of those would be considered an integer because they're a whole number on a number line. So you start getting into decimals and fractions, that's when it can no longer be considered an integer. The only time a fraction can be considered an integer is when it comes out to be a full number, such as 2 over 2 or 10 over 10, which would come out to 1, or say 50 over 25, which would be 2. So that's an integer so long as it comes out to a whole number. A whole number, non-decimal. Next, that deals with numbers itself would be a number value. A number value is basically any number you can call. It can be decimals, you can put it to the 10th, you can put it to the 100th, 1000th, 10,000th, 100,000th, as far as you want to go. That's if you want to use a smaller increment of data, obviously, to make a more precise measurements. It can be used in a lot of different ways. Next most commonly used one, would I have to say, is a string value. A string in coding is basically a line of text. A string could be something simple as string. A string is any text or numbers that you want to save. So we can make a string that has a value of, say, I like cheese. Say you were to print that value, you would print I like cheese. Thing is, it's not just limited to letters. You can add in numbers, you can add in exclamation points, all these kinds of things, because it's a string value. Next, the rest really aren't commonly used unless you're getting into more advanced things, but you might run into a Boolean value. What a Boolean value is basically it's a true-false statement. In binary, this would be considered 1 and 0. Either something is true or it's false. It's good if you're using it to check for something, like say if you want to check for if let's see, I'm trying to think of what I can say here. If in this case we'll use an example of having a character for an RPG. If has character is equal to true, then you can play the game. Else, if has character is equal to false, then you have to create a character. That scenario would check if you have a character, then you can play the game. So that would mean it's true. But if it's false and you have no character, you're forced to run the creation and make a character. A brick color value is it's self-explanatory based on the name. You can choose a color based upon the bricks. You get the palette to choose a color, and it's basically if you want to save a brick color. Say you were changing the color of something via a script, and you want to go back to that color, that initial color later, and you don't have a way to create separate values for it. What you can do is you can insert a value with the specific color that you want to save, or you can use it to save different colors and change people's bodies. There's a whole bunch of different ways it can be used. Next would be C-frame value. If you don't know what C-frame is, it's basically where a part is on the XYZ scale. It's basically where the positioning is, where they're located. Color 3 dot value. Color 3 is basically you use an RGB format, red, green, blue, 0 being dark, 255 being the highest it can go. Now, if you're doing this, you get all of these different colors you can choose. This is the kind of format that you get when you're doing something with, say, sparkles or fire. You get this kind of concept in sparkles, fire, and smoke. They all have that kind of look for the coloring. Next would be an object value. Now, I want to say something about object value, but I'm not 100% sure. To be honest, I don't really know anything about object values. I never really use them. So, well, there might be something here in the object browser. Alright, object value. Nothing really. Alright, value. No. Alright, object value. I have used it a few times, but I'm not that great with it. Object value is if you want to create a value for a certain object, I guess. Please note, I'm not 100% sure if that's correct. Now, array value and vector 3 values. I'm not quite sure about an array value. Array value, if you know anything about array, you have 2 points. You have your starting point and your ending point. What it does is it creates a array from your start point, which would be in this case, would be here. We can make it 0, 1, 4. It creates an array in the direction of wherever your ending point is, and it theoretically array stretches from one point infinitely to another direction it's pointing. But in Roblox, arrays only last up to a measurement of 1,000 studs. So that's your limit on arrays. Now, a vector 3 value. Basically what a vector 3 value is, you have three different positions, X, Y, and Z. X is side to side, Y is up and down, and Z is back and forth, basically, if you guys don't know that. I could show you an example with the axis on the, you guys see down at the bottom right, bottom left, you have this little, keyboard, I don't know how to explain it, little, alright, well, you guys get the point, right? If you were to see a two-dimensional image, you'd have the X and the Y and the plus formation, right? So X is left and right, Y is up and down. But if you go to add the third dimension, back and forth, that's Z. So that's really all there is. I wish I could have given you guys a more in-depth explanation on the object value. I'm not 100% sure on it. If you guys want, please comment below. If you want me to figure out what it is and give you a tutorial on it, that'd be I can't talk tonight, man. That'd be nice. So, thank you guys for watching. If you watched this all the way through, I hope this sort of helped the issues you were having. If you want to know more about certain things, please feel free to comment, PM me, asking questions. I love answering your guys' questions and helping you guys out. So, again, thanks for watching. If you want to see more of my videos, subscribe to my channel. I post some tutorial videos pretty often as I can, as long as I have some ideas and what people want to know. So don't forget to subscribe. I already said that like 3 times, you know. Leave a comment. I said that like 4 times. And like this video. Have a good night.